Hi, my name is Todd Rhoades, and I'm with Chemistry Staffing, one of the co-founders here. And I wanted to take just a couple moments here to talk with you about the current COVID-19 crisis. You know, COVID-19 has really affected, I think, virtually every church in America. And we don't know yet what the long-term effects are, but we do know right now some of the short-term effects that all of us in all of our churches are dealing with. First of all, not being able to gather has been really difficult. Most churches across the country have been unable to have their weekend worship services, and that's really hard. The other thing that we're dealing with right now is how do we transition those ministries that we have, virtually every ministry that we have, from meeting in person to meeting virtually or online. That's something that a lot of churches are really diving into and figuring out right now. And then finally, and obviously, many churches, most churches, maybe all churches are experiencing a period of some reduced giving due to not being able to meet and due a lot of times to some of the mass layoffs that are happening in different sectors of our economy. This is going to leave a lot of church budgets under some current stress and even some future stress as we continue to navigate during this time. And honestly, you know this, it's going to be a difficult time for many churches financially. Most churches, yours probably fits in this, spend close to, if not more than 50% of their budget on staffing and HR. And maybe your church is trying to figure out what all this means right now. For some, that just means watching expenses right now, tightening your belts, and that'll be enough. But for others, there's going to be some significant cutbacks and giving that will force some really, really hard decisions in both our ministry budgets and ultimately in our staffing levels. And I just wanted to let you know that we're here to help. This webpage has some great resources for you during this time. You can check out our frequently asked questions section where we answer some questions that we're getting right now about the pain points that churches are feeling during this time. And just also know we want to be able to come alongside you and serve you and your church and support you in any way that we can. And maybe that's just by having someone that you can talk to that kind of knows about church staffing levels and options. And we're happy to do that. And I'm here personally to talk with you through that. Maybe it's partnering with us to help you find a way to care for staff members that you have to transition during this time off of your staff. Let's talk about what that might look like as well, and how we might be able to support your church in caring and loving for these brothers and sisters that have served so well at your church. You know, back in 1999, it's hard to believe 20 years ago, I started a website called churchstaffing.com. And it's really hard to believe how much has changed in 20 years. But make no mistake, this COVID-19 period that we're going through right now is going to change much of how you staff your church in the near future and on the other side of this in the distant future. And we want to serve you during this time however we can. Can I make this offer to you? Let's talk. I'd love to hear how your church is faring during this time. I mean, how are you doing? How is your staff doing? What decisions are you contemplating right now? What decisions do you think you're going to have to make in the near future? And how can I help? So here's what I'd love to have you do. Just click the schedule a call link on this page, and let's take 30 minutes over coffee, over a video call like everyone is meeting right now. We'll do a Zoom call, and let's just talk about, tell me what you're learning. Tell me how we can support you and your church during this time. I'd really love to take that opportunity to get to meet with you and hear kind of where you are and where your church is at and how we might be able to help serve. Thanks so much for stopping by.